I've had some people say that I need a little more enthusiasm to get more views on my channel. So yeah, that's nailed it. Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's all I got. So that was kind of fun. So anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you are doing well today. And if you're new to my channel or new to this video, I am Matthew Kelly and welcome. And I hope you enjoy this video. We're going to do something a little bit different or a little bit new today for my channel. We're going to do some pottery basics. I have some coffee mugs to throw for some orders. And so we're going to do some basics of centering, opening, pulling, all those kinds of things. So get ready and let's go. All right, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, or even on YouTube, which that's pretty much anywhere. If you follow me, you probably saw a picture or a video of me making some of these. This is my social distancing 2020 mugs that I had Justin's Makery make me this stamp to make these medallions and applying them to the side of some mugs. I got two different shaped mugs. I did... For local, I took pre-orders, and then for Etsy, I'm just making extras that I'm going to sell some of these on Etsy. And so I've already have more orders than I have mugs made, so we're making more, okay? But I'm going to make this shaped mug. These are heavier than my normal mugs. This is actually 1.25 pounds, and I could probably make this mug out of 1 pound of clay as far as this size. But because I'm adding the medallions to the side, I'm going to make these a little bit thicker, but that doesn't matter. The process of centering, opening, and pulling is still all the same. So we're going to do that part of the process today, some pottery basics of making these mugs, but I thought I would show you this really quick because these, at least the ones that I've put together so far, look really cool, and I can't wait to see them finished and get them out to you all who have ordered them, or to Etsy, where you guys can get your hands on one of these as a little, like I said, not making light of the situation that we're in, but you know what, for most of us, next to probably 9/11, this is probably the biggest thing that's happened in our lives as far as the whole country. And so I thought it'd be neat to have a handmade kind of novelty keepsake item to remember this time by. And anyway, so yeah, that's what these are for. And let's get to some pottery basics and to making these cups. All right, we're gonna video this from a couple different angles to try to help you guys see everything going on, because only with 1.25 pounds, not that my hands are massive, but you're not gonna be able to see a whole lot, but we'll try to talk through it. Of course, this is an aspect of making pots that I don't normally think about, because just like anything, like riding a bike, once you learn how to ride a bike and somebody said, well, how do you learn to ride a bike? You have to actually stop and think about it. So as we're going, I'm going to try to mention some things, and I'm sure I'll forget some little things, but if you watch closely enough, you may pick up some things that I don't even mention. I have a lot of people on my channel say that after watching a video a couple times, they definitely pick up some tips that they didn't notice the first time around, or just after practicing for a while, you'll notice some things and you'll pick up on some things that you didn't catch first time around. So anyway, as far as centering, I'm at my wheel where I'm standing right now. I probably center a little bit different at each wheel, but one of the main things that I do is that I use my splash pan as a way to brace my arms when I'm going to center, so that you'll see both of my arms go down on the splash pan as I'm centering. That's going to help keep my arms from wiggling and moving around as I center the clay. My stance changes a little bit. I kind of put my left foot back while my right foot's on the pedal so that I can kind of lean into the clay ball a little bit. This is not a huge clay ball, so I don't necessarily have to lean into it a whole lot, but I still kind of change my stance so that I can do that. Of course, adding the water and all that is pretty basic, but you'll see that I start out by this hand kind of up and putting pressure down, but then right after that, both of my arms are on the splash pan. And I use, one of the things I've always done showing people is I take my hands away after centering for a little bit, and you can see where my pressure points are. My pressure points on my left hand are right here in the palm of my hand or the heel of my hand. And then these two fingers, these three haven't really done anything at all. And on this hand, you can see my thumb, and then these 3-4 fingers up here in this area. because you can see right here, this is what I'm doing when I'm centering right here. And I'm pushing with the heel of this hand, and then I'm pushing down with this thumb, and then kind of pulling towards me with these fingers here to kind of, and just, like I said, just forcing that clay into the center of the wheel, holding it as steady as you can. And if you ever need to stop and check, one of the things I'll tell you that I tell everybody that's centering is they want to do this. They want to like center and then pull their hands away. And as soon as you do that, you're jerking it off center every time you do that. So if you want to see if it's centered, when you get done pushing on it, take your hands away slowly and evenly, and then you can always hold a finger here and just see if there's any wobble from side to side when you're doing that. And if there's not a wobble, then you're good to go. Okay, step 2, as far as opening the clay ball, you can do that a myriad of different ways. I like to use my thumb on my left hand, and I push down on it with this hand as well. At least I think that's what I do, like I said. Yeah, so I kind of push down with my thumb and my middle finger kind of. You'll probably see most everything I do, my hands are touching each other one way or another. That just helps stabilize my hands together, as well as my arms are still braced on my splash pan. So you'll see I'll go down like this. I'm gonna come out with my thumb. A lot of times I will let go and just use my thumb along the bottom like that right there and open up the bottom. I have also, here's another thing that I hear from a lot of people. Well, you don't compress the bottom. I don't know if I'm just lucky or if it's just the clay I use. I don't think it's just the clay I use, because I've thrown pots for 25 years with lots of different clays, and I've never had to sit there and take time going back and forth on the bottom to compress the bottom. One reason is I think the way I throw the clay ball on the wheel is sideways from the way it's pugged. That helps align the platelets so that you don't get cracks in the bottom, as well as I think maybe the pressure that I apply going down and then pulling out the bottom, is I've never had a problem with the bottom of my pots cracking. So that's just what it is. So I don't spend a lot of time compressing the bottom. You may need to with your technique or your clay. So if you've been taught that way or you want to do that, then go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of times if I'm going to do a swirl on the bottom of a pot, I do that now. So these mugs are going to have a swirl on the bottom. Now I'm going to take this clay that's out here like this, and I'm going to push it back into a cone beehive shape so that I can start pulling that clay up. I don't want to start pulling from here because I'm already wider than I want to be when I finish. So I want to start that clay, give myself the advantage of that clay coming in to begin with, and then as I pull up, then I can always flare it out. The clay is always easier to go out than to bring back in, and at this stage, it's a lot easier to bring this in now than later when it's already pulled up and thinner. So a lot of times I'll bring this clay back in like that right there. So I'm just kind of pinching in with both my hands and making like a volcano, okay? The first pull that I do is I add water to the pot, and I'm actually going to take kind of like a claw with these two fingers here and then this hand on the outside, and I'm going to kind of pinch together and roll up, and then my left hand kind of goes on the side like this, and I'm using these two fingers as well to kind of pinch in and help that process as well. So that's kind of my first pull, and then I flatten that, even out the top, and there we go. And I still kind of have that volcano shape. It's spread out a little bit, but not too much. All right, step 3, or next step, I take and clean off some clay from around the bottom so I can get in there where I'm gonna pull. One of the things I like to do is so I don't have to clean out the water later in the bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the water on the inside now. Now the bottom is inside and clean, and then I'm gonna take my sponge and wet it, and I'm just gonna add water to the very top and let a little bit of it run down on the inside and the rest on the outside. And if I put just the right amount on the inside, I still have it so my hand doesn't stick. And when I get done pulling, I don't have excess water in the bottom that I have to clean out. Then what I do, I'll show this from a different angle, but then what I do is I pinch in and I'm pulling with the middle finger on my right hand and pretty much these two fingers on the inside, and pinch together and pull up. And I use the sponge in my right hand to keep moisture on the clay. And I've got my thumb from my left hand kind of coming down so that it kind of makes that connection to the sponge to keep my hands running evenly all the way up. Now that it's pulled, I should have pulled that one a little bit higher. I'm going to clean off from around the bottom because I want to have this a flare at the bottom. I want to get that clean. Then I'm going to start shaping. Push in with my rib, get the basic shape that I want, going up to my gauge. And then I also want to put a little bit of a straight or a design at the top there. So that's kind of one of the last things I do. And now I'm going to come back to the bottom and roll this foot up, and I'll show you that technique in a little bit from the other angle. Sponge off the rim and down the outside, and we're good to go. All right, angle number 2. Here's what I'm talking about. When I pug my clay's coming out of the pug mill like this right here. I've got it starts with a 4-inch size on my pug mill, and then I've got a couple dies made that I can clamp on the end, and this one does a 3-inch pug this way. But when this comes out of the pug mill like this, I don't want to throw that clay ball down like this, which would be a whole lot easier to center. But I've noticed with pug mills that if you do that, the way the pug mill aligns the platelets, that if you throw the clay ball down like this, I've seen it more times than not that you get cracks in the bottom, and sometimes they don't show up until after their bisque or even after the glaze. So if you're gonna use a pug mill, then then take the clay as it comes out of the pug mill like this, cut it the length that you want, and then throw the clay ball down like this right here, and then you don't have to worry about those the cracks in the bottom. All right, so second angle, like I said, you're gonna see the same steps that I showed you before. And if I think of anything different that I'm doing, I'll mention that as we go. But you can see there, I've got it centered, and I don't cone up and down. That's just something I've never really gotten into doing, and I don't think that's a problem. But if that helps you center, or if you think that helps you with energizing the clay and all that, then by all means do that. All right, so now I'm gonna take my thumb, push down in the bottom, open up like that. Just get that flat, and then I'm gonna put the swirl in the bottom, cone it back in like that, add some water, do my first pull like that, clean off around the bottom, clean out the water from the inside with my sponge, get a little bit of extra water, add it to the rim and then down the outside. Pinch in and do my pull. Now I'm going to take my rib, clean off around the bottom, get a nice smooth bottom there, or around the base. Now I'm going to do my shape that I want. Get it up to the gauge, and now I'm going to start working on that little top part there, and then shape the bottom from there down. And now the foot, I take that because it's flared out and coming to a point right there. I just take the pointy part of this tool right here, and I'm going to push it into there, and that clay kind of comes up and it's at a sharp point, so I can take that and then I kind of roll it up and over, and that makes a little roll at the bottom of the foot there. So you can see that little extra bit of clay that's come up right there. I take that and then I kind of roll that over, and I use my thumb and my middle finger on this back side to kind of help smooth that over. And then I get a little bit of a roll to finish off the bottom of the cup right there. All right, one more angle for you guys. You guys get to be up above me in my rafters for just a minute or two. And I'm gonna do the same steps that I did with the previous ones. Open it up there with my thumb. Make sure that's flattened out even. Put my swirl, cone it back in. Do my first claw pull. Pinch that in at the top. Clean off the clay around the bottom. Clean out the water. Add a little bit back to the rim, down the side. Go into my pull. Get my pull the height I need it. Clean off around the bottom with my rib. Add a little bit more water. Shape it. Get the little top portion defined there. Do finish the shape down the side. Roll the foot up at the bottom. Sponge the rim and down the outside. Around the back, clean the bat off, and boom. One more cup finished. I hope this video helps you. I hope it inspires you, and I hope you learn something. I hope this video helps you overcome some of the bumps in the road of learning those basics of opening, centering, opening, and pulling a clay ball, because those are the foundation of every pot you will ever make on a pottery wheel. And so, like I said, I hope this video helps you. I hope it inspires you. Nothing will ever replace, you know, the one-on-one teacher-student relationship, because there are hundreds of nuances in learning to make pottery. And there are things that a teacher or I, if I was watching you throw, that I could probably see that you're doing right or wrong and tweak those in real time. But we just don't have that luxury at the moment. But I truly believe that this video and the things that we covered can and will help you learn those basics. And if you practice them enough, you can master those basics. Because I truly believe that the statement that repetition is the mother of all skill, that statement has proved true in my life and my experience with clay. And whether you believe you have talent that you were born with or not, that developing a skill can either enhance your talent or it can overcome the lack of talent. And you can still become a darn good potter either way. And so, like I said, I hope this video helps you. I hope it inspired you. And if it did, leave a like on the video. Subscribe before you go if you haven't already. And you can feel free to share this video with your friends or classmates if you want to. If it helped you, it'll probably help them. So anyway, hit the bell also so you're notified when I've got new videos or I do live streams. And yeah, hope you guys have an awesome, wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bloopers! Boom! Nailed it! I've had several people say that, not several, I've had some people say that I need a little more enthusiasm to get more views on my channel. So yeah, that's, here you go. Here's 30 seconds of all the wild craziness I can get. Funny noises. Cut. Woo! Yeah! Ah! Welcome! Not a good idea. Pottery video time! Take 27. Oh, yeah. Okay. There, that's it. That's all I got. So, yeah, now back to normal. Okay, yeah. That was kind of fun. So, anyway. Oh, man. Hey, we got to laugh because right now the world has gone mad. And also, just in life in general, I learned that if you can't laugh at yourself, then you're going to have a rough time. Your life is going to be a whole lot harder if you can't laugh at yourself than if you can. And yeah, so you can laugh at me, laugh with me. I don't care. Doesn't bother me one bit. Well, it probably bothers me a little bit, but I just, you know what? Doesn't matter. Because you know what? If you're laughing at me, I don't even know. Because you're somewhere else and I'm here by myself laughing at my phone. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, well, yeah, we should probably, yeah, just get to the video. Okay.